Passed by the members elected in each House of the General Assembly are declared duly elected as members of the Judicial Inquiry and Review Commission for terms as stated in the resolution. This concludes the joint order. The Sergeant at Arms.
Madam Speaker, a message from the Senate.
Senator Sasla.
Madam Speaker, I've been directed by the President of the Senate to inform the House of Delegates that the Senate is ready to adjourn sine die. Thank God.
Thank you, Senator.
Thank you.
Per House Rule 51, the House is returned to morning hour. Does the clerk have any additional announcements or communications?
Madam Speaker, I have no announcements.
The delegate from Fairfax, Delegate Samirah.
Madam Speaker, I rise for a point of personal privilege.
Delegate Samirah.
Madam Speaker, we have an epidemic. We have a pandemic, a global pandemic due to coronavirus, and I think it's necessary that we address it as a body before we go for recess. I have my fellow Virginians on mind. I'm thinking about the working poor. I'm thinking about the businesses that will be damaged by the economic slowdown, and I'm thinking about those vulnerable Virginians without adequate access to healthcare services who are at risk of contracting a virus that has already claimed many lives in the U.S. and across the globe. We have a problem at a time when proactive and responsive medical care is essential to saving lives at threat from coronavirus. It's unacceptable that thousands remain uninsured in our Commonwealth and thousands more remain underinsured. Solution. We have some. Top researchers at Yale University found recently that universal healthcare coverage would save almost 70,000 lives a year and would save almost $500 billion. I would wager that that number would be much higher in a year with a pandemic on this scale. In a Washington Post poll from a few months ago, 66% of Virginians, 2/3 of the people in the Commonwealth ranked healthcare as very important. I'm certain that today it's even more so. It's sad but not surprising that in the situation that we find ourselves today, with the entire world enveloped in the fight to stop a virus that is lethal to vulnerable people, that private for-profit health insurance is still doing what they can to profiteer off the medical care that people so desperately need. People should not be worrying about costs right now. People should not be worrying about whether the care they need is in network or not. The virus is laying bare the structural flaws in our system that are leaving everyday Virginians behind. This outbreak is a flashlight shining on the dark room that is our healthcare system, a system that has and was never designed to deliver quality care for all as its only priority. Currently, the only solution provided to us all across the Commonwealth, the governing bodies in Virginia, to address the coronavirus pandemic is to waive testing fees for the virus. That is just not enough. We need to consider emergency legislation to ensure that everyone in Virginia has the affordable care they need. Closing the uninsured gap would move mountains for those who are currently at risk of contracting the virus but unable to test or treat it. One legislative solution would be to provide our own subsidies for plans on the Affordable Care Act marketplace beyond what the federal government provides, up to 500%. Another idea is a zero-cost solution that was offered this session as a public option for affordable health insurance. We could set up new plans through DMAS that would be available for all Virginians on the individual marketplace and would make care affordable by setting reimbursement rates with Medicare rates to the providers, to the hospitals. This would essentially provide thousands of uninsured Virginians the opportunity to find cheap Medicare price plans. It also requires no new revenue because plans are paid by patients and profits for the industry are limited. We could raise the eligibility for Medicaid from 138% to 200% as Delegate Patrick Hope had introduced this year. Delegate Elizabeth Guzman also introduced paid family sick leave. We could also do that. We have solutions on the table. We need to take them up. We need to think about this very deeply. Our economy is at stake. Our budget might not even be substantial enough to withstand the tide that's coming to us. We need to come together to think about this. I'm calling for a special session. From the governor's office, hopefully, to address this crisis that we have of underinsured and uninsured individuals. A public option plan, a zero-cost solution to our crisis right now would prove very well for us. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
The delegate from Alexandria, Delegate Herring.
Madam Speaker, I rise for a motion.
Delegate Herring. Delegate Herring, you have the floor.
Madam Speaker, I move that the House of Delegates adjourn sine die.
The delegate from Alexandria moves that the House adjourn sine die. As many as favor the motion shall say aye. Those opposed, the motion is agreed to. The House stands adjourned sine die.